Hello, once again, welcome back to yet another episode of this channel. The last time I checked in, I was looking at the understanding African traditional healing or the African traditional religion, and there I was saying things aren't bad if people aren't misusing stuff. If only people are not misusing any of the African societal stuff, probably we wouldn't be having any negative thoughts about it. But because we human beings, we have that thing with us. We are too greedy, we are too envious as human beings, we are too jealousy. We will find that out of jealousy, greed, and envy, you are misusing some things to harm other people. Anyway, that's not the point. The point is we are continuing with the African traditional rituals. And in these rituals, we had rites of passage, calendric rituals, crisis rituals. I know it's so obvious when you hear rites of passage, calendric rituals, crisis rituals. It's so obvious because as an African person or in the African society, you just know, oh, here they're going to talk about this, oh, here they're talking about this. But my point is, all these things have been good. They've been in existence right from even the other years, the BC world, the ID or the Anodian world, the BC world, and all that before Christ's world, your generation. The problem is human beings, as I've told you. If only human beings we aren't envious, we aren't jealousy, and we aren't greedy, probably we could not be misusing most of the things that we are having. Because I'm being honest with you people, some societies deep in the upcountry regions are using these rituals, are still doing these methods, are still active with these things, and you find that they are succeeding. Understand me here, I'm neutral. I am not a person who is biased with the African traditional part of it, nor am I against the religion part of it. I'm neutral here because it's a discussion. Everyone has their own thinking and ways of how it can be handled or on how it can be maneuvered with. It's not even maneuvering. Let's try to understand something here. If only humans we aren't jealous, we aren't envious, we aren't greedy, probably people could be still using these things. But human beings, we are so much with greed, envy, and jealous. If I feel like, oh, how is it possible? This is this. We go ahead and misuse things. If we don't misuse things, everything is good. I'm being honest. Everything is so good. Pardon me a little here. Let me give an example of porn. Pornography isn't bad. We humans are just misusing it. I know most of you are like, you're crazy to say pornography isn't bad. It is not bad. Why do you make love to your partner if pornography was bad? Because sex is pornography. Are you getting it? Guys, don't feel like, are you off topic? Are you confusing us? Don't get confused. I'm just speaking of misuse of things makes people misunderstand other things. Pornography isn't bad because pornography is sex. Why would we be getting intimate with our mothers, our fathers? As in, pardon me a little here. Why would people be getting intimate if pornography was bad? It's just that human beings are misusing so many things. If people were not misusing pornography, it wouldn't be bad. Because at the end of the day, you find people sexing one another, much as they are saying, I don't watch pornography, but you're doing sex. Sex is pornography. Which is which? That's not the point here. My point is the African traditional rituals. And it's originating from a topic of understanding African traditional healing. That's where I'm origin. Those are my origins. That's where I'm coming from. Because the last time I checked in, I was talking about that. So today I was just trying to air out why people are misusing things. Because you find that people are saying pornography is bad, but at the end of the day, people are making love in their houses. People are like sexing one another, father and mother sexing one another, couples sexing one another. And here they're saying pornography is bad, pornography is evil. It's just that we human beings are misusing pornography because pornography is sex. That's not the point. The point is misuse of things makes people think it's bad. If people want envious, if people want jealousy, if people want greedy, Probably our African culture, our African traditional things could not be bad. But out of envy, jealousy, and misuse of things for bad evil for bad evil deeds makes people think it's bad. The point here is African traditional rituals. I'm not saying they are good and I'm not saying they are bad. If we stop misusing these things, they are good. I've told you societies are still using these things and some are progressing well and good. So African traditional rituals, rites of passage. This is a transition from adolescent to adulthood. Of course, it's an obvious thing, but you see, with our societies, these things were done in different ways. When it came to the boy's side, a boy to transition from childhood to adulthood, you find that in other societies, this child is undergoing a ceremony. That is the circumcision part of it. Most societies, especially from my home country, are using a lot of, they use circumcision as a way of initiating a male child to adulthood. That is, they use circumcision. Are you getting it? Circumcision is a way of initiating a male child from the from the childhood part to the adolescent part of it. Then when they're initiating the woman child, here we are looking at that time when the woman is like having her first period. That's when they feel like she's transitioning to womanhood. And that's how our societies, or in my society, in my home country, we look at it like that. Once you see that first cycle of your period, pop, you are now a lady. You are considered a mature woman. And truth be told, it's true. You are considered a lady, a woman who is ready to conceive a baby in case you get intimate with any boy child. So here, the African traditional rituals, we are looking at rites of passage, and here, transition from adolescent to adulthood. Other societies, you find that they may take you to some place. So let me give an example like the Karmajongs or the Kejongs in our country. They normally take you in a forest or a bush or any place like that, a wild place, and to show them or to prove to them that you are an adult man, you have to fight with a lion, you have to kill a lion or a tiger. But they normally consider the lions, I don't know why, because you see, it's not easy to hunt it down, not to fight with it. Most times they prefer them to fight with it, and you fight like real fight and carry it to your homestead, and they celebrate you. There they be like, now we are considering you as a normal adult person who is a man enough. In my society, in my home country, where I come from, my society, they normally consider circumcision for the boy child. For the ladies, they consider the first cycle as a woman. Anyway, let's not take much time on that. The other ritual is the calendric ritual. Here we ensure the continuity of life force, e.g. New Year festivals. There are certain festivals that are done yearly, and these rituals, you'll find that most rituals can be connected to birth. Are you getting it? For example, every year, every month, babies are being born to, are being celebrated, are being produced, or people are being celebrated. So here in our societies, most people consider childbirth as a calendric ritual. Childbirth, are getting it? Most people consider marriages as calendric festivals or rituals. For example, here in our societies, once someone is married, that is a calendric ritual. You are going to another stage of life or another level of life. And once somebody has given birth to a child, they are looked at as another part of life has been brought into the world, or it is looked at as another generation to come in the near future or in the next generation. Or are you getting it? So here with the calendric rituals in our societies, I've looked at childbirth and I've looked at marriage. Then other societies, they look at child naming. Are you getting it? Because it's not that every day you do child naming. No, it is something done yearly, mostly once in a year. because you can't find a family doing it twice. Probably if maybe this mother is not child spacing so much, but again, child naming, those are, I'm just giving examples of calendric rituals. We have child naming, we have childbirth, we have marriage, and many others, depending on one society anyway. Because Africans, we have different things we handle in our tribes, in our regions, in our districts, in our counties. We have different ways of doing our rituals. Then the other ritual is the crisis ritual, prevent sudden annihilations of human life by supernatural agents. The crisis rituals, these ones are normally done as in, you see, every society, people, we have the elders or the elderly people who know more than us, the young generation, who can really predict and perceive. So they be like, oh, probably this may happen. We practice this, or we do this, we carry out this ceremony, and they carry them out. But I'm being honest here, not only in Africa, but even in the other western parts of the region, other countries, most people have these rituals just because we have different names for these rituals. Anyway, back to the other point. When I was airing out those videos, I was just trying to tell you that it's us humans who misuse things, but things aren't bad. I get into it. If only humans were not misusing anything, nothing would be bad. Because I brought in an example of pornography, and I know most of you are like, oh, they are misleading us. No, then pornography is sex anyway. That is it. My point was, if we don't misuse anything, everything is good. Thank you very much for your time. I appreciate it. Stay tuned. Ciao.